Alright, hello, Bloodsworn Vanguard. We are here today with our first, I guess you could call it a podcast video where we are going to be interviewing specific members of the guild, preferably on a weekly basis. So this is our episode 1 featuring Alucieus, aka Tom, who is our guild master for those that don't know. Tom, how you doing?
Doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. Alright, so Tom, World of Warcraft, man. It's what we play, it's what we love. How did you get started?
Well, I was on vacation one year, and for 5 years I had been making fun of people making World of Warcraft, playing World of Warcraft rather, and just giving them shit for it. I tried it a few years back, and I was like, "This shit's too cartoony. What is this Alliance character? This human looks fucking bulky as shit. There's like not even proportionate to like, real human beings." So I was like, "Oh my god, it's so laggy." And I was playing in Italy for the first time, probably on a shitty connection. But that ruined the fucking taste for the game for me. But I was on vacation while I was living in Washington, and I was bored, man. Fucking nothing to do. I took 3 weeks off of work because I get stressed if I work fucking 14 hours a day for so long. And I just installed the trial because it popped up somewhere one time. And played a Forsaken Rogue. And I was like, hey, this is kind of fun. And I usually save up money and shit like that. So I had like money sitting around. I was like, fuck it, I'll buy the whole game, pay the $80 or whatever it was up to get to Wrath. And I just started playing the game on Feathermoon on an RP server. For some reason, I chose an RP server because I thought it'd be cool to, I guess, run into people fucking role playing or something, see how that works in the game, and then yeah, started getting hooked.
Did you play any other MMOs that kind of got you, that leaned you towards the RP side, or was that really just a shot in the dark?
It was a shot in the dark, really. I didn't know what RP was like over the computer, or what to expect, or how people would play it out. I guess I was curious more than anything. The closest thing I played to, shit like that is like Neverwinter Nights, and the closest thing I played to an MMO is like, I guess Diablo 2, which isn't even an MMO,
Right. So now we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of this. So you go from a Forsaken Rogue, and Alucieus spawns where? Where does, now we know you as Alucieus the Paladin. What transpired with that?
Well, everybody knew me as Arius first, and when we got the guild together, which we're probably going to discuss here shortly, that's what the guild master was, Arius, my rogue. That was my main. That was the first character I raided on. My wife, actually, was the person who introduced me into raiding with Justy on his priest, and we were both nervous. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We were going into ICC, trying to keep up with these people who were Ben raiding, fucking getting bosses down, and we're like, oh, goddamn, if I fuck up, I'm fucking 9 other people and wasting their time. So we were both really fucking nervous. And we got the hang of it, and we were pretty good. Like, within a couple months, I was topping the DPS charts on my rogue. So, after that, we had roster change-ups, and I believe after we moved servers to Wyrmrest Accord is when we started realizing, hey, we need a consistent tank, or this isn't going to happen. We had the DPS, so I was like, I guess I could gear out my Paladin in a few days, run heroics and shit like that, and tanked ICC for the first time in all fucking blues and shit. That gave me an adrenaline rush right there. And apparently people were saying I was good at it, so I started tanking, and I became the main tank eventually, and that was the end of that story. Now I've been the main tank forever.
No, it's been that. Alright, so before the guild transferred to Wyrmrest Accord, you are the lonely Forsaken Rogue here on Feathermoon. Bloodsworn Vanguard, how did that, did it just pop in your mind one day? It's like, hey, I'm going to start a guild, and then bam, there's BSV, or is there some kind of backstory to it?
There's very, very few guilds I've and well, because I love the guild I have now. It's first guild I joined. You know, I'm new. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna make guild off the bat. Was Order of Royal Knights, and they appealed to me by saying, "Hey, we're an RP guild." I was like, "Okay, I'll check it out. I'm a newbie. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in this game, so I'm not gonna get into any hardcore PvE content." And I know I'm fucking taking forever to level. So, and you know, when you first play World of Warcraft, everything or any game, everything is new and shiny and it's cool, and you're having fun learning and playing through it and reading the quest text and shit like that. Nobody reads the fucking quest text, you know. Anyway, I joined that guild. I was in that guild for like 3 weeks, maybe. It was Justy Ihalu in the guild, and he had his little circle of friends there, and I was in the guild. Come to find out, the guild leader was like 14, 15 years old, which I really don't care about your age as long as you act like an adult. We'll treat you like an adult, at least in my guild. But the kid was stupid, and after a while, it was just like, I'm wasting my time here. I'm gonna go. And then I talked to Justy, who was bringing something up in a guild meeting, and the guild leader was just dismissive of what he was bringing up. So I was like, hey, you want to go with me? Let's make our own fucking guild. He was like, I don't know, man, blah, blah, maybe I'll give it another week. I was like, no, let's go. And anyway, I convinced him, and he brought all his friends, and then we formed a guild called Keepers of Shadow, which was what the guild was in Feathermoon. And the RP story for that is that it's basically a bunch of nobodies, unwanted people, you know, fucking societal outcasts, rogues from Murder Row, a Tauren hunter who was shunned by his parents because he doesn't want to follow Earth Mother, shit like that. And well, we played and RP'd, we had a good time, and after a while, you know, we got into the raiding scene over in Feathermoon, and then everybody seemed to be getting into the raiding scene over in Feathermoon, and then it was like converted into a PvE server, and just like barely anybody RPing.
Right.
And nobody fucking RP'd. We were basically the only guild running around with MRP tags, and there's like few stragglers here and there once in a while in Silvermoon acting like retards, and there's a fair amount of trolls, so we decided to check out other servers. And one I suggested and looked at with Covea was Wyrmrest Accord, and we saw people RP walking in Silvermoon City and people chatting with each other RP, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. How's our connection here compared to our other server? And I ended up spending about $300 removing the core members of Keepers of Shadow over to Wyrmrest Accord, and then we had like about a 2-day discussion on what we were gonna name the guild, and about 4 hours on what we were gonna do with the tabard.
So the idea of Bloodsworn Vanguard, the name behind that, what were you guys trying to aim for there?
We were making all kinds of fucking mix and match shit, man. We were just shooting each other's names down left and right. So as a prefix, I guess, not really a prefix, but the first word we agreed on, Bloodsworn, was cool. Alright. And then we had a multitude of names, Lightsworn, blah, 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 and we're like, we're not a guild full of paladins. Actually, we are a guild full of paladins, but we're not going to go with that. And, you know, we didn't want to have a name that would seem exclusive to any class or would exclude any classes. We wanted something that sounded like not fucking retarded, and you know, Keepers of Shadow, that seemed exclusive to like rogues and shit like that, what we were doing, but our guild had grown into a multitude of classes, you know.
Right.
So to make the RP scene make sense and not have paladins running around with the fucking title Keepers of Shadow, you know, like I said, after a couple days of discussion, we're like, okay, how about this name? How about this name? How about this name? How about this name? Came down to how about Bloodsworn Vanguard, and that had the least complaints and the least. Oh my God, no, let's not go with that one.
All right, so that's
yeah.
So that was it, and so you guys transferred from Feathermoon to Wyrmrest, settled down, and then you guys made the name, made the tabard, and then what? Was it just a free-for-all recruiting spree, or did you guys, sell yourselves as a PvE guild since you guys came from a raiding background, or how did you get the members starting to roll in?
We sold ourselves as, well, first of all, we didn't advertise having a guild bank and a fucking tabard because that's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
We have tabards, dog. You know what Anyway, we advertise ourselves being a RP guild that likes to do PvE content.
Right.
To this day, that definition has expanded for me to where we're an RP guild that casually RPs, but we're serious about it, but likes to do everything. And when we get down to it, we need to be serious and good at it.
Mm.
And, I pride myself in collecting our peers who are good at fucking whatever the fuck they do, whether it be PvP or PvE.
Or a mixture of all three.
What?
Or a mixture of all three.
Yeah, or a mixture of all three.
Just playing the game well.
That'd be the best. Yeah, after seeing some PvPers, it's like, wow, these people need to pick up PvE because they're just on point.
Mm. Right. And so, now that you're at Wyrmrest, and we're coming, close to the end of Cataclysm, the plans of, are you guys set on staying on Wyrmrest Accord, or has there been possible talks of possibly a transfer to another, say, high-end PvE or whatever kind of server?
I've contemplated stuff like that. I wouldn't mind going to a PvP server. I wouldn't mind going to a high-end PvE server. But first and foremost, we're established as an RP guild, and we might not be a fucking heavy RP guild, but it's what we are. So I think we're going to stick true to our roots and be good where we're at while we can. Right. I'm not going to move us to another server and be like, well, we left Feathermoon because there wasn't any RP and everybody was getting the PvE, and throw ourselves in another PvE scenario. As much as like to get shit down, our guild progresses and may not be the fastest at getting the shit down, but we still get the shit down to the end boss when the content is relevant.
Right.
That's what counts to me. We still get gear. We're still one of the better guilds on the server as far as PvE content wise, but we do it. We do more than they do.
Right.
We RP and we PvP.
Right. All right. So now this is probably for the people interested in joining Bloodsworn Vanguard, or the people that are already in it, because we get a lot of the same questions on a very daily basis. How do I get promoted? How do I become a raider? How do I what is quote unquote being active? So let's go ahead and get down to those kind of FAQs for the guild, just so it's already kind of established law. First point I have here is when someone joins the guild and they're kind of doing their thing, what is it the officer corps look for as far as promotions are concerned?
Like you mentioned, activity is one of them, and maybe I should define that first. Activity is, we have officers online at any given time. There's at least one on usually. And when I ask in officer chat during our little secret Ninja Squirrel meetings is, hey, who do you guys think deserves a promotion? Who's been doing this? Who's been doing that? When I asked for people to nominate people, and I asked for any, rebuttals to nominations or people backing it up. Hey, I've seen this guy do this and this. He's helpful. He's been online a lot, blah, blah. Hey, anybody got any complaints about him, blah, blah, blah. How involved are they? If you just keep to yourself, don't say anything, just don't socialize, maybe you're on here and there, I wouldn't really expect a promotion. I mean, would you?
No, I wouldn't say so. So we should probably change, instead of being active member, we should probably change that word to involved member.
Well, that's why I have to put it. Disclaimers whenever we invite somebody, and the first one is you are involved in the guild as you make yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
right. So with that being said, so basically to get promoted, you have to, let's say, is it, running heroics with a lot of people, helping maybe the low levels out with quests and stuff like that? Is it just being just a general part of the guild, just kind of just lending a helping hand, putting stuff in the guild bank and all that? Is that kind of what everyone's looking for here?
If you feed to the positive environment of our guild and our what we have socially right now, then you deserve a promotion. If you're there and you're not sustaining anything and you're just floating, you're not doing jack shit, then really you don't deserve a promotion.
Right. Which should be fair to say. True.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So this is probably the biggest question we get as far as the guild, I believe, is concerned. We're starting to get a lot of new members now. I'm sure you're seeing it. We're getting a lot of people inside the guild. The guild's becoming very active, and our rating situation, we can only fit 10 people. It's nothing personal. It's just there's 10 slots. You need 2 tanks. You need 3 healers, 5 deeps. That's how it is, right?
Yep.
Nothing personal. So now people are wondering, how do I prove that I'm worthy enough to kind of be a part of this raiding team? Go.
If you really think you're up for raiding, you can tell me and show me. Run a heroic with me. Show me how you perform. Show me how you perform versus me or a couple of the other officers or the whole pug. What I don't like to see is people linking me DPS meters for fights that have ramping buffs that'll shoot somebody who does an average of 10k DPS up to 40k DPS. What I don't like to see is you linking me your spike damage. I don't like to see ramping heals from buffs in fights. So I did 20k HPS. Yeah, that's unrealistic because our 2 main healers average 12-13k heals per second, and I'm pretty sure they're better than most everybody I see.
Right.
What it comes down to really is there's a lot of people that want to raid, and I've dealt with this as the guild leader a lot. You have to step up and go above and beyond. You can't try to meet a criteria for raiding. You have to go beyond that criteria for raiding. If I say I want to see people doing 20k DPS, you want to know how you can get a spot? Show me that you can do 22, 23k DPS sustained. Don't use gear as a crutch. Is what I don't like that. I don't like people using, it's because I'm under geared. No, it's most likely because you're not maximizing the potential of your class right now.
Right.
If you're in full 378 gear, I fully believe you should be able to pull 20k plus because that's what we did in Firelands.
Right.
So there's that. I mean, you just have to step up. You can't half-ass this rating shit. You can't have 9 other people carry you. If somebody's lagging behind 2k DPS when everybody's pulling like 23, 21, 20 and you're doing 18, we can carry you. But if you're doing 16, 15, 14, 11k, that's not happening. Don't show me your spike damage. Sustain it. Sustain it for the whole entire duration. And, we can talk about shit then. I've had people saying, I want to raid, but their DPS is low, and they talk about leaving the guild and wanting to go to another PvE server or PvE guild to raid. Honestly, that's just not going to happen for you. It's not. You think it's grass greener on the other side, but there's requirements for the raid. It's simply not possible to get current endgame progression content down if people aren't up to par. And like you said, it's nothing personal. I just need the performers.
So say you get the performers, and then now there has to be something said for the core team. I mean, if we have this fluctuation of people coming in, I mean, realistically, some of these people should be kind of, I wouldn't say worried, but I mean they should keep up the competitive, do well as far as the core team is concerned. I mean, wouldn't you say that?
If you want to raid, we have the core team, yes, but there will always be somebody from the core team that won't be able to make it. So if you're showing me that, hey, I can perform on par with these guys where I can catch up, or, it's legitimately a gear issue, and I'm only 1 or 2k DPS behind you guys because of gear, not like 5, 6k, then, yeah, you're going to get a chance. If you really want to and you can show me that you can put it out, you'll get your chance. And if you fucking completely outperform people, well, then that's when the core raiders need to start worrying and looking at their DPS charts.
Right. So on either end, there should be no room for slacking. It should just be a constant
improvement.
Right.
Constant improvement. Whether you're part of the core raid or not, every week you should bring something new to the table as far as, hey, I've improved my DPS by 200 here.
Right.
Next week another 200, another 200. Just fucking at least something. Improve your shit.
Right.
Especially if you get upgrades.
True. There should always be room for improvement. That could be said for any class, any person. So now that being said out of the way, let's see the last point I have here. Upcoming plans for the guild. Now, I'm sure a lot of people have already heard us say it. A lot of us are excited for Guild Wars 2, possibly having a sister guild over there. But for the guild currently right now, is there anything that's just kind of on the slab or anything that's just kind of, being talked about that, as far as guild events are concerned, that people can, look forward to?
Well, the last few days, people are trying to roll back into more RP and stuff like that, and I'm all down for it. I'm kind of getting out of my writer's block situation. Want to do that. I'm gonna see how the roster goes for raids. We might have room for a couple extra people if people want to step up. I had a couple talks with people and basically said this, except in a more blunt and abrasive manner. Hey, you need to get your shit up there, and then we'll look at it, because you seriously need to be competitive. Aside from that, really, looking down the road, Mists of Pandaria, I have no clue what's happening, because in Cataclysm, it changed up a lot of guilds as far as people playing and stuff like that, and I could see that happening in Pandaria as well.
Right.
We might not be able to get content down right away. We might have to readjust our rosters and stuff like that. If we do try to push through Pandaria. But I'm looking forward to Guild Wars 2. It'll be a change of scenery and pace, and seeing how that goes. I encourage guild members to try that out. Take a look at it. Look up the top 10 reasons to be interested in Guild Wars 2 on YouTube.
It's a great video.
It is a great video. That really got my interest peaked, And as far as the future of the guild, I want to fucking possibly do rated battlegrounds. I want to just fucking be the best at everything. I want us to be better in PvE. I want us to do better in PvP. I want us to be like the guild on this server. Be like, hey, what guild should I join for PvE content? Bloodsworn Vanguard. Hey, what guild is good at PvP? Bloodsworn Vanguard. Hey, I want to join an RP. Bloodsworn Vanguard. Hey, Bloodsworn Vanguard.
Bloodsworn Vanguard.
Yeah,
that should be it. So, last and final thing before we wrap this up, Tom. Since this is going to be going on YouTube and everyone's going to be seeing it, we're going to have, Wyrmrest Accord is starting to gain a lot of popularity in the RP world. And if someone were to come across this, as far as recruiting needs go, is it just we're just taking anyone, or are we kind of looking for? I mean, we're looking for those people that are, they're good at the PvE, PvP, RP. But some people are going to wonder, is my class being looked at or wanted?
When we're recruiting you. We're not recruiting your class. We're not recruiting your character. If you want to raid, we will look at your character. But first and foremost, we're recruiting you. That's why I'm picky. That's why if your grammar and punctuation isn't great, I might not recruit you. Oh, why? Why would you do that? Studies show that your English quotient, more than often than not, is in direct correlation to your intelligence quotient, meaning that if you can't spell worth shit, you're probably retarded. If you're retarded, you're probably a drama magnet.
Right.
The whole positive social environment we have, where people can joke around, dick around, and just have fun in everything they do, is because I weed out the bad players. And when we are the go-to guild for everything on the fucking server, I'm going to be weeding out a lot more players, and there's going to be butthurt players forming little guilds of butthurt that aren't going to be part of our guild, which I don't care. And there's always going to be people hating and talking shit because they've been kicked from our guild, and it's happened many times before in our past. But that's why the guild is the way it is. That's why everybody has fun in the guild, because I take those people and I boot them.
Right.
Whether, if you're causing drama, you need to go. If you are the root cause of that and you're being an unreasonable person about shit, you need to go. Regardless of what your opinion of reasonable is or not, I'm the final say. I've been doing my personal job for years, and my entire job is basically reading people. And you know what? I'm a pretty good judge of character. If I say you need to go, you need to go. which is why we have great social environment in our guild.
I agree. Any final words, Mr. Tom, before we wrap this up?
Final words.
Any shout-outs?
I love the guild. I love our guild members. I want more good RPers to join our guild, good PvEers to join, and if you're good at what you're doing, come on over. You'll have fun. Your guild's probably alright, but you'll have more fun over with us.
Right.
That's about it.
That's about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those over there on YouTube and those in the guild that are watching this video, you just heard from Mr. Tom, aka Alucieus, who you can find on Wyrmrest Accord here in Bloodsworn Vanguard. Myself, I am Szajin. Want to thank you all for listening to this podcast. If any members of our guild are interested in possibly being interviewed, shoot me a message, shoot me a tell. Let me know. We'll get an appointment scheduled, and we will get you lined up and good to go. Final parting words. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and have a pleasant, wonderful day. Thank you.